Building a positive network. Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audiblepodcast.com/RCRN. Over 75,000 titles to choose from for your iPod or MP3 player.
Welcome once again to another episode of Your Money and Your Mindset. I'm your host, Lola Tan, PhD, and I'm really excited today because we've got an extremely interesting, vivacious guest all the way from Europe, in the Netherlands. And she's going to get us talking, or she's going to tell us about how she came about to where she is and how she's helped a lot of people get out of the ruts of their so-called 9-to-5 jobs that don't hold any more passion for them, and how she's helped them discover what they really want to do, but still stay solvent, and how the quality of their lives have been improved by that. Okay, without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Miss Blanca Vergara from the Netherlands, who has earned the title of an MBA. And you say, what's unusual about MBA? Except in this case, it is a MBA diva, moving beyond achievement diva. So just a quick intro. Blanca started in the corporate world, working in places like European aerospace agencies and Price Waterhouse, and being a consultant now. She's also an author and executive coach. She went out after 15 years in the corporate world to start up a new life, a new phase of her life, and she'll tell us about the turning points that got her to where she is today. So we'd like to... Before that, welcome also all our listeners and viewers out in cyberspace from Stickum Blog TV, RCRN My Treatment for Living, Kite TV, Receiver Internet Radio, and Radio Roku. These are our syndicated channel partners, so hello to everyone. And hello to you, Blanca.
Hello, it's a pleasure to be here with you today.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so... that's an interesting little title you got, MBA Diva. What do you mean by that?
Well, I do hold an MBA business degree from a business school. And at some point that was very important for me. But at some point I figured that I wanted to move beyond that. And it came out really quickly to say, well, really, I would like to move beyond achievement, beyond doing. I would like to be in the world of being. And that's been such a tremendous transformation for myself as a person, as business owner. And the best thing is that it has become a great transformation for my customers. So it's really my motto to go beyond just simply doing things, but doing things with a sense of purpose, a sense of transformation and passion for what you are doing. So that's where it's coming from my own personal transformation from MBA to change agent of builder of a new economy.
Oh, a builder of a new economy. What does that mean? What is your new economy?
Well, I believe that at this moment, the economy is changing dramatically. And as we see companies going bankrupt and laying off people and all these scrambling of the business environment, we see companies emerging. We have entrepreneurs doing wonderful things, just exactly like you're doing with this radio station that puts together coaches around the world, bringing a new passion and purpose to the life of everybody inside and outside of corporations. And you see entrepreneurs selling more than products, but also stories and meaning and transformation. This is, also the all what is emerging from what is falling is fascinating, and I really want to be an active actor in this transformation.
An active agent. Oh, and when you talk about entrepreneurs, how do you find your clients? How do they find you? And how do they say, "Oh, do I come and see Blanca because I know she can help me"?
Yeah. Well, there is a jungle out there in how to get customers, and of course, the typical answer is go and do your marketing right and write good copy in your website and do your launches and go in radio programs, and all this is the outside world that sure I do because I like to take action. But the most important change is the change that happens inside your own heart and inside your own spirit, So the moment when I became committed to my own mission, it was amazing, I came up to that realization of what my mission was. This really honestly came in dreams. And my latest download of my mission is that I heal the fear of the builders of the new economy. And as soon as I got that download, I started attracting the customers that fit this description. And the more I started acting upon that, the more customers with that description started to look for me. And how did they find me? They found me through Twitter, they found me through an email that somebody sent them, they found me through LinkedIn, they found me through Facebook. Some of them, they didn't even know how they found me. So I think beyond the tactics that all these marketeers are selling us, we have to be very aware of the inner game of how we attract our customers. And this generates a tremendous power for business, because when you're not clear, you end up attracting people who don't pay, who pay but don't show up and don't do your work, or cancel the appointment, the deal that you made with them. So customers that are less than perfect. But when you do your inner work, you get the people who are absolutely ready for the solution that you have to offer. And this is fabulous, because really, beyond getting the money, because of course we want to get the money, but beyond that, we want to transform their lives, really, to transform their businesses, to really generate a change.
Right. So basically, you're saying for yourself, a little switch went on in your head, yeah, about when you say in your own heart and your own spirit. Can you tell us what was that turning point for you that you said, right, enough of just doing, now I got to be me, and I got to find the essence of me, and from there I have my mission to connect with like-minded people. So all that came after you had that seminal moment where that turning point was. Can you sort of share with us what that was?
Absolutely. Well, there have been different turning points. It's a little bit like a spiral. When I was working in my last corporate job in, I can say, my life, I don't imagine myself going back ever to corporate life. I started with, stress, but I was in a very high position, at the highest position in my company in Europe that a woman held. So my colleagues were 55 years old men, and I was the only girl. I could call myself 36, 30. The lady started when I was 31, and in that position. And I was deciding whether to hire, start a contract, change pricing. It was really like running my own company, but doing it for this specific corporation. And the responsibility and the tension and the politics and well, I would say even, the playing with the reality became really uncomfortable to me. And I didn't want to accept that because, of course, I was receiving this big paycheck. I had this wonderful, expensive car with leather seats and the power over people. People were somehow afraid of me. So, the status and all that security of a corporate job. But my body couldn't take it. I started to get palpitations. I started to get pain in my left arm, heartburn. And I was 35, 36. It's just ridiculous. I was very, very young. So I, one day running, it's just really interesting. There's so many turning points. One day running, I was praying for, I would like to go running, not just on Saturday morning, but on Tuesday morning or Wednesday morning. It is so wonderful. Couldn't it be nice to have a situation that will allow me to do this? So there was this kind of dream that was fascinating of, this kind of freedom. And then went to the acceptance that I hated my job at that time. And it was a great, like magic, that that job was taken away from me. And it was such a great blessing because, I got a great deal living there, and I decided that what I wanted to do in my life is, or was to have meaningful conversations. And really, I didn't know what that meant. So I went and studied a coaching certification to America, to California. And really, I didn't have any real focus of what that meant, those meaningful conversations. But at least I knew that they should be meaningful and there should be a give and take of conversations. So I started a different journey of trying of defining what really meant meaning and who I was meant to have these conversations with. And funny enough, having left the corporate world and thinking that I wanted to really leave the corporate world, I just started acting as I learned to do in the corporate world. So I went and did my niche marketing analysis, and I took my MBA hat. Let's see what did they teach me in business school. So I will use that. So I came up with a niche that made sense from the business point of view, from the and I went out and tried to sell. So I chose corporate lady, right? Because I used to be a corporate lady.
Yeah.
Very quickly, I met who I call the men hater.
Sorry, can you say that again?
I met the men haters. The women who blame men for every single thing that happens to them.
Yeah.
I absolutely love men. And I love women, and I think that the future of the economy, of society, is a more loving and accepting environment for everybody. And I just couldn't keep working for women who needed that explanation from me. So that is when it came the second, or if you wish, the third. Well, it's difficult. Let's call it the second turning point. So I left the corporate world, one, and this one I wanted to leave these corporate ladies. And that's difficult, That was really difficult. The sense of security on building on the old was a quite difficult situation to leave. To stay in the comfort of the things that you already know, even if they are not producing results, is a fallacy. I was really not selling when I was in that environment. I was doing a lot of marketing and I was really busy. They invited me to give seminars and talks, and everything was, for free. And everything was a gift to see, a test. Maybe the corporation might like you. So it was really not making business sense for me because A, I was not happy, B, I was not making money. So I asked for help. I asked for help, just praying, I want, please somebody help me. And I got the perfect coaches in the perfect moment, in the perfect time. One of the persons who touched me, to touch my life and really transform my life, asked me the question, what caused you to be big? And this question made such a big impact on me that, I couldn't really answer it immediately. So I thought about it, I wrote about it, and the answer didn't really come. And that's when the answer came in dreams. But of course, to act upon that answer, not that trivial. It's not that simple to act upon an answer that is really calling you to be real big. The real transformation came at the end of last year, beginning of this year, when I sadly enough lost my first child. I had a miscarriage. And I had this miscarriage when I was thinking, I don't have time to be pregnant, I have to be doing this and that for my business. When I lost that child, it came strongly the realization of, life is now. And I have time for life. But, it's urgent because as my child passed away, I might pass away anytime. And will I be just, waiting until the customer who I don't like likes me? Or shall I actually move on and start acting accordingly to what my inner self, my wisdom, is telling me? So
Right.
After this, I was able to really do the change, and it was incredible. Like in 2 days, I changed all the copy of my website, and immediately I was getting customers left, right, and center. So it was an incredible situation from transforming emptiness and death into birth and service. And not funny enough, but amazingly and beautiful enough. Immediately, I was able to get pregnant again, and at this moment, I'm expecting my first child. So it is actually an amazing story of rebirth, if you wish, but of both my business and my child. So that's that's a journey, more or less.
So basically, it's a journey for yourself, and you are finding a lot of people who are almost like yourself, because I hear in your voice the dissatisfaction with the corporate world. Even though you had the car, you had the fancy title, you had the money, you basically had the golden handcuffs. Is that correct?
Totally. I really had the golden handcuffs, and to really feel that my life was more important than the car, that was more important than my paycheck. Immediately after I left that world, I decided to go on a long holiday. I took several months traveling, and I followed the advice of this gorgeous website, onebag.com. So I traveled several months with just one bag. It was absolutely amazing. I never felt so wealthy. I didn't need to buy anything. I just had everything. I was so powerful. Nothing could stop me,
So was that a realization you didn't need the material things you thought you required, especially in a Western life where you got to have the car, you got to have the boat, you got to have this, you got to have that. But these are just props that make, at the end of the day, make people feel better about themselves. And when you take them away, you are still the same person, and you discover who you are, and you think, man, I can live without these, really.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Possibly because I had the money, and I could buy anything I wanted. I didn't need another dress. What for? I didn't need to drink another glass of champagne. What for? It became a moment of I want experiences. I want meaning. I want love. I want people. I want the real stuff in life. Objects and money, everything that money can buy is so cheap.
Yeah, you talk about the wanting to connect with people, but still not being not knowing what is it that you wanted to do. So you said you downloaded your dream. Is that correct? It spoke to you in your dream.
Yes, it really did, and it's because this powerful question that this tremendously blessed mentor asked me, what calls you to be big? And the fact that I was not able to really answer it in my conscious mind, because our conscious mind is just what is keeping us safe. It's very helpful, of course, because it helps us not to be killed by a car from across the street. So I'm very thankful to my conscious mind for that. But I'm very open to my own conscious mind to listen to the real stuff, to the wisdom. And dreams is a great moment to listen to it. And this is one of the best dreams I ever gotten, and it's really woke me up. I have to write it down, and it's still running with this latest download. I'm absolutely sure that a more refined version of it will come when I'm ready.
Oh yeah, when you're ready. So when you say this, does that mean you literally went to bed and had a dream, or did you go away somewhere without too many distractions? Sit by a lake, or just somewhere where it's peaceful and quiet in nature, and then you get a knowing, a feeling that is not just a passing feeling, but it's a very strong indication from the universe, from the subconscious, your own subconscious, telling you, "Hey, Blanca, you've got to be doing something else now."
This phrase really came in dreams. Really, I was completely asleep. Middle of the night woke me up.
Wow.
But what you are describing is my normal practice when I don't know what to do next in my business. When I'm deciding how many sessions, what is the price, in which way I can serve my customers in the best way, or what is the next thing that I want to write, then is when I do this. And I have it as a normal practice of taking time to listen to my inner wisdom to take business decisions. Because I figured that our inner wisdom is just way more faster and way more harmonious than our conscious mind. It's just fascinating to listen to or him and her to your own wisdom.
Okay, so when you're would you teach this to your clients as well, who come to you and say, "Hey Blanca, I'm a high-powered executive, I'm 45, I'm 55, I'm sick and tired of the corporate world. There's something in me that says I want to do something else which is more fulfilling, spiritually sort of gratifying." And then you say, sit with your inner wisdom and trust your inner wisdom. And these people have always done it by looking at the spreadsheet, the bottom line. The bean counter comes and tells them, this is how much the product costs, this is how much you sell it for, this is the profit margin. So how do they accept receive your advice to them as their coach, when you say, sit down, be quiet, lose the paperwork, but just listen to your inner self? What's their response normally?
Well, my customers are really the perfect customers.
Perfect customers, love that.
They are really, really perfect, and they realize that they have been in the world of Excel and the Excel files, and that has not been working. That's not working anymore for them. So they are looking for something else, and they know that they need to listen to their inner wisdom, and they don't have enough practices to do that. My customers, as you said, they are in their 40s, in that transition between, I don't know, 36 to 45. And they have been very, very successful in the corporate world, and either just recently left or they are about to leave. And they are really serious about starting their own business to transform the economy, because they are, as I was and I am, tired of old business practices. So since they are tired of old business practices, they are really open to see what other sides of their brain, what other sides of life could offer to them, because their intelligence is no longer providing everything that they need. So it's, I don't need to convince them.
So that's great. It's almost like the right people at the right time turn up in your life and you in their lives. Is that correct?
Correct. And that's the way I like to work. And this is actually what I teach my customers, what I share with my customers, in how to transform, but first how to connect with their own inner knowing of what is that they want to be changing. What is their contribution to the world? And once they know that, they need to translate it in some words, in some actions that the market will actually understand. So I actually tell them that it is allowed to work with people you absolutely love, and that is something really shocking for them, because we have been taught that we are supposed to solve problems. We are not taught that life could be exhilarating, exciting, fascinating, that business and work could be something really positive of building something fantastic. And to move in this direction of stopping solving problems, stopping worrying about horrible things, and concentrating in the really wonderful things, in the potential, is a great transformation for them and a great transformation for their customers. One of my customers, she's an architect. She works in design of cities. And just that flip, instead of concentrating in which problems the city has, and concentrating to the potential that the city could have, has transformed the kind of customers that she's getting, and the joy that she's getting, and of course the money that she's getting. So this is just fascinating for them as well. And I give you this example of the architect, because we could have said, oh my God, a person who is building something, because it's relatively easy to see with the coaches or with the trainer. But a person who's building a city, how could that work? Well, it works that way. Just looking at possibilities, and it's much easier to build them.
Wow. Okay, I'd like to come back to that story. We just need to go to a quick commercial break. We're joyfully going to one of those. And when we come back, I'd like to continue that story of your client, the architect. So a quick commercial break for all. A 2-minute break. We'll be back. Thank you.
You're listening to Real Coaching Radio. Building a positive network.
Let's talk about your future. Do you know what's in it for you? More of the same? Or how about the life you dream of? Career advancement, financial security, a healthier lifestyle, spiritual enlightenment, effective communication, and fulfilling relationships. Sometimes we must have an extra boost. Sometimes we need a breakthrough. Announcing breakthrough courses for the life that you really want to live.
Discover how to create your extraordinary life with personal coaching sessions and all the ongoing support you'll need to define your vision, realize success, and create your extraordinary life. Join our online Ask a Coach program and connect with one of our expert coaches in the areas of health, personal finance, relationships, personal growth, environment, career, and spirituality. Go to www.askacoach.us and register.
Imagine a new online community where coaches, experts, and their clients connect. Imagine using a system of powerful tools to improve your life. Imagine the world of your money and finances getting better each day. Saving for the future, escaping debt. Well, imagine no more. The community is here for you today. Your radio show host will give you further details.
You're listening to Real Coaching Radio. Building a positive network.
Okay, welcome back. You're on the show, Your Money and Your Mindset. I am your host, Lola Tan. And if you want to jump in and ask a few questions, use Skype or add Skype name Real Coaching Radio or call us in the studio hotline. The number is 303-872-0503. Send us your comments or your questions. Thank you very much. And also welcome back all our viewers, listeners on Stick and Blog TV, RCRN, My Treatment for Living, Kite TV, Receiver Internet Radio, and Radio Roku. These are our syndication partners. Hello to you all out there in Cyberland. Just a reminder, we are talking today to Ms. Blanca Vergara, who's got a fascinating story about how she started in the corporate world. After 15 years of living the high life, decided it wasn't for her because there was more to life than just the expensive car, the expensive friends, and decided to have a real life that was meaningful. So Blanca now coaches a lot of people who are transitioning from lives they thought they wanted, where we spend our time climbing up the corporate ladder and then of success and realizing that it's actually leaning up against the wrong wall. And we go, oh dear, we better do something about this. So they pick up the phone and they call Blanca. And one of Blanca's clients is an architect who's into building cities who had an amazing paradigm shift. And in doing so, became more fulfilled and also earned a lot more money. So back to you, Blanca. Can you continue with the story of your architect client, please?
Sure. I really love the idea of the builders for the new economy thinking of builders. And I love her story because she is literally building. And, that is what everybody wants to be doing worldwide. And we want to start building not solutions, but fascinating, inspiring new things. And this appeals in everywhere. And in her case, has transformed her business and has transformed her life because in fact, this is how I see almost everything. We really need to, instead of convincing people that they need to change in this and this way, it's much easier to start building something more exciting and interesting. So that is my approach. It's very appreciative on possibilities, not really worried or concentrated in what has been wrong in the past, but appreciative of what has happened in the past and using and building on that. So that's my philosophy, and that's how my customers are really changing their businesses and their lives. So that's more or less how she's been doing it, and how everybody in let's say my campus is doing it.
Okay, it's almost as though I hear there's a common theme that everybody feels somehow that what they've done so far in their lives hasn't been up to their own personal satisfaction, and there's almost an emptiness, and they want to give back to the world. It's not just about them going, I hate my job, I want a new job or new role where I get paid lots and I'll be happy ever after. But there's actually a caring and a feeling that there is something they want to give back to the world, to other people. Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely. Because, when I was in this, one of the typical concerns of my customers, and I really shared that feeling when I was in the corporate world, is that I feel quite capable. I was able to do stuff that was really, if you wish, difficult or challenging. I was managing IT services, I was managing facility management services all around Europe. And some of those projects were, implemented this new software or moving so many people from this location to that location. And when you really look at the meaning and the impact that this will actually have for humanity, or even not for humanity, but for the people involved in that project, it just didn't really add up. All the effort, all the money, all the nights that we spent developing that software or coordinating that project plan, it didn't add up for creating a transformation that was meaningful for anybody. So it was like wasting my talent in something that didn't have genuine, authentic impact. It had an impact that generated money for a company and not really lots of value for another company. So that is why many people are leaving the corporate world, because they see that their capabilities, intelligence, leadership, all their strengths are not being used in a way that is going to be in benefit and real benefit for anybody. I love the story of this gentleman who founded Room to Read. He used to be a marketing executive for Microsoft, and he felt that frustration, and he decided, I want to use all my marketing knowledge for something that makes sense. And he went and opened public libraries in third world countries. And that I found that awesome, because he has been able to raise money and to educate children. And, he's a child. I mean, he's so young. I mean, he's not 40, the gentleman. And this feeling, I just see, everywhere. But actually, the thing, and going back to the subject of the whole program, and where the challenge comes, and where I felt my customers the most, that once they left the corporate world, they are really lost in the jungle. They don't know how to sell themselves because they don't have the business card that says big corporation, director of Hoplopop, vice president, CEO. They feel themselves really, really lost. And they themselves in that situation do not see their own value. They don't see all those 20 years of experience or those 30 years of experience as anything that could be of contribution for people. And that is why they are not pricing appropriately. I see many people not really selling. I see many people charging peanuts for the service that they provide. And that is where I'm absolutely passionate to help them, to remind them what's the value of the service, what is the impact that they are generating for their customers, and to help them to value themselves appropriately. Because, when we charge money for our work, we are getting back, we are giving the customer the opportunity to tell the universe, I mean it, I am worth it, I am investing in myself, I really believe in myself, so therefore I am investing in myself. And if we don't give our customers that opportunity, we're not giving the opportunity to upgrade themselves, to take a risk towards their own development. And that's why I see it's very important that we charge appropriately, because we do it also for the benefit of our customers.
Wow, that is such a major paradigm shift for so many people. You're talking about 99% will go, oh, gee, I can't charge too much risk. The customer goes somewhere else to get that service from somebody else. But that seems to be a mentality that says, I have a mentality of scarcity. There isn't enough to go around. And the other thing that seems to come up is that these people, even though they had the big titles and the cushy job, I guess people had the respect then. When they took all that away, they didn't feel as though they were worthwhile. So how do you go about building up people's self-esteem where they can stand there and tell the client, this is what I'm going to charge, and it's got lots of zeros before you get to the decimal point, and not flinch or blink?
Yeah, I work with two programs, two sides of the coin. First, I work in their inner game. And their inner game, I work with a blueprint that I call it LEAP. And
Say it again. What is it called?
LEAP.
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 Right.
And this means this stands for each letter. It stands for something. So the L stands for letting yourself. That is taking the leadership of your life and saying, I am going for it. Because if we don't do that, then the rest of the program or the rest of your business life is just not going to make sense. If you're going to still be looking for a job, if you're going to still be doubting yourself, if you're not going to show up 100% for what you were going to do, you cannot do it really. So that's the reason why I start there, because I need a contract with themselves that they're actually going to do the work, and do the work of, crying, do the work of getting angry, and do the work of all these emotions things, because that's something very uncomfortable for them.
Yeah.
Then I work with the E, that is energy. And this energy module is about transforming their fear into fuel. And I work with them with their fears, confronting them to what they are, what are their inner critics saying? What are the risk managers saying? All these voices that we have in our mind telling us that we're not capable of this, we're not capable of that. So to have a conversation with all these ego voices is that module about. So fear. Then I go to the A, that is appreciation, and that is where I point to strengths. And it's really amazing. It just happens all the time. I work in the identifying the strengths of these people, and I'm telling you, they are in their 40s, and some of them have vice president title. And I have this really high position in that company, and we all had the same thing, that we didn't acknowledge our strengths. So I go through that on their strengths, on the things that make them so happy to do, and they are always shocked. For me, one of the things that is very important to me is art. All things have to be beautiful. I really need to be in an artistic environment. And I think I don't say it enough in my website. I say it when I'm talking, but in my documentation, I think it doesn't appear that much. But magically, almost all my customers are working in something beautiful. I told you, the architects, I have a stylist, I have even engineers who are building beautiful buildings. Everybody is working in something beautiful. So that is the strength part. And the P is the biggest. And the P, I spend 3 sessions on that, because that is purpose. So I go and teach them several methods of how they can connect with their purpose. I give them a personal, an individual coaching session so that they can get deeper into the purpose. and I give them more techniques on how, once they have reached the first version of it, how they can keep renewing it. Because, of course, we get some glimpses to what we're here for, but we get to know better as we start building upon. Every time there is a kind of a new place to go, a different level of the spiral in which we can go further. And then close with the exclamation mark, and the exclamation mark means action. So
Okay.
at the end of this course, people need to translate everything that they have done into action.
Right. So, I'm sorry, I have to interrupt you there for a minute. We just need to go to a commercial break, but hold that exclamation mark. Don't let it run away because we're joyfully going to a commercial, and when we come back, I'd like you to expand on the purpose and the exclamation mark. So your P is very important. So just hang on for 2 minutes now.
You're listening to Real Coaching Radio. Building a positive network.
Imagine a new online community where coaches, experts, and their clients connect. Imagine using a system of powerful tools to improve your life. Imagine the world of your money and finances getting better each day. Saving for the future, escaping debt. Well, imagine no more. The community is here for you today. Your radio show host will give you further details. Let's talk about your future. Do you know what's in it for you? More of the same? Or how about the life you dream of? Career advancement, financial security, a healthier lifestyle, spiritual enlightenment, effective communication, and fulfilling relationships. Sometimes we must have an extra boost. Sometimes we need a breakthrough. Announcing breakthrough courses for the life that you really want to live.
Discover how to create your extraordinary life with personal coaching sessions and all the ongoing support you'll need to define your vision, realize success, and create your extraordinary life. Join our online Ask a Coach program and connect with one of our expert coaches in the areas of health, personal finance, relationships, personal growth, environment, career, and spirituality. Go to www.askacoach.us and register.
You're listening to Real Coaching Radio. Building a positive network.
Welcome back, everybody. This is your Money and Your Mindset show. I'm your host, Lola Tan. Today we're talking to Blanca Vergara about how to get out from that rut that some people find themselves in and get on to doing what they really want to in their lives. So Blanca was just discussing her blueprint called LEAP, L-E-A-P, with an exclamation mark. And the P stands for passion, and it's discovering your passion and then getting off your backside and actually doing something about it. That's the exclamation mark, by the way. So back over to you. Can you just give us a bit more information, some exciting stuff about that?
Cool. So the exclamation mark is about getting things done. And what I see with some of my customers is that they would like to go indeed to possibly back to corporations or start doing a non-profit organization. So that's in the case when they stop going further at my customers. So the people who decide to go further and start their own businesses, or they already join me as having their own business. So they are the ones who continue to the next level. And the next level for me is a course that I call Play Real Big. And I help them to translate their passion and purpose in profit. And what I'm doing is that, I'm taking everything that I learned in business school, everything that I learned in the corporations, and I'm deconstructing it and transforming it into everything that I'm taking everything that doesn't work there and transforming it into something new that is heart-centered. So, for example, if we're talking about positioning, what good business sense is telling us is that we should go to the statistics and we should look at the target market, the number of people, the consumption, the pricing there, blah, 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 numbers, numbers, numbers. So instead of doing that, what I'm telling my customers is go and look in your heart and look what you want. Who do you really want to be working with? Who is the person who will, you will be in the middle of the night answering their phone calls, no problems? Who will make you so extremely happy to be working with? So like that positioning, I do exactly the same with other 7 variables. So there are 8 variables. So I'm just going to mention them because, of course, 8 variables, that's a lot. So I help them with positioning. I help them with pricing, packaging, property, partnering, paying customers with their progression plan and with their process. So if you see, it's very, very business, but it's very business but heart-centered. So this is what makes it so different. This is not a entrepreneurship course or leadership course. It's really a heart-centered entrepreneurial strategy bootcamp, if you wish. So these people leave this course with a very clear blueprint of how their business is going to develop in the future.
Wow, that sounds like a really jam-packed information session. So how can do they have to travel to the Netherlands for this, or is it done online?
Yeah, I work mainly online. I have customers all over the world, and I like very much to work online for several reasons. One, I like to work in groups because groups help each other very nicely. They really create a kind of wisdom that is above all of us. So that is amazing. And the groups then do it online. We have this effect of, the divan of Freud, of, lying down there and not being with the other person so that you can actually express what you're feeling and what you're thinking. So even if you and me are seeing each other via the camera, somehow we are not in front of each other. So just listening to each other has a tremendous power. It's very interesting. So that's why I've chosen this way. And it is so powerful because then people don't need to travel. Everything, I use a lot of technology. I don't know if I mentioned before, but my first major was IT. So I'm fascinated by the technology. I use lots of videos and audio, and the point is to leverage all these in a way that that can allow us to really talk about important stuff. So yeah, I have customers in Costa Rica, in Australia, in the UK, in the Netherlands, in France, in Spain. So it's really open to everybody. And the other cool thing about it, of working with groups and global, is that many of us are thinking, oh, this is just because of my culture. this is just because I'm a woman, this is just because I'm a man, this is just because I'm this age, this is just because this or that. And no, our fears are beyond cultures, and this spiritual transformation is just about everywhere.
That is really, really amazing that you've put your finger on something that's it's a universal truth. In other words, that you've basically just spent the last hour articulating. I mean, I'm so inspired by this whole thing. I'm going to tell my friends about this. So in terms of that, can you give us your contact details, your website, and so forth, so that if when people hear this interview or see this interview, they want to get to know you a bit better rather than Google you, go directly to your website. So can you tell us what that is and your contact details?
Definitely. And actually, I got a gift for you guys because you've been so kind to welcome me in your home, in your radio show. So this is in www.blancavergara.com, and that is BlancaVergara.com /page/gifts GIFTS, and the G is capitalized. So there you are going to be able to receive my 8-part series into quick, simple, and easy ways to boost your profits without losing your soul. So this is an online course that you will be receiving on your inbox just slowly in 8 sessions. And I also will, with that, I'll give you access to my bi-monthly publication, in which you will also receive my Play Real Big Sparks. These are articles that will allow you to regain the ability to properly value yourself, to become a client magnet by providing honest and powerful value, and really maximizing business results, because this is what I'm all about, really translated into a new economy that will generate value for everybody. And I have a second gift.
Yeah, lovely.
For the people who would like to, who are listening to this show, I could welcome them for 45 minutes if they want to enjoy a complimentary Play Real Big consultation. If you feel called to really step above where you are and you cannot wait anymore, and you feel that I might be the answer to your prayers, please do contact me. I'll be delighted to spend some time with you and help you identify what is in between you and your next quantum leap.
Fantastic. That is so generous. It just shows the spirit you have, which is that of, there's everything, there's lots around. So I'll just give you that for the listeners and the viewers. It's Blanca at BlancaVergara.com if you want to get in touch with Blanca yourself and get that free 45-minute consult. Thank you very much for this hour. You've been a tremendous guest. I think everyone's learned a lot. And God bless you and God bless your family. So good night and goodbye, everybody. Thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audiblepodcast.com/RCRN. Over 75,000 titles to choose from for your iPod or MP3 player.
You're listening to Real Coaching Radio, building a positive network.
If they invited us to go to war, what if not a single person came? What if finally the human
the killer.